Okay, so we're taking the first argument, which is obviously the second index of the args command here, and then we're just printing it out. So image sorter xe, yeah, let's use that one. Photos, okay, that's it there. Okay, so now we need to actually iterate through this directory. This directory doesn't exist, so I might just is that the right way? Yes. Okay, so this directory does not exist, so I might just copy these photos here into it. And let's just make this lowercase here. Okay, so now this directory does exist. So if we, let's just grab the whole thing, and if we, oh, why does it not exist? Oh, whoops. Okay, sorry. It's dev image sorter. So we need to have dev image sorter photos. Okay, so this directory now should exist. Why is it not? Oh, whoops. Sorry. Okay, there it is. Okay, so now we've got this directory here, and it's got some photos in there. We're going to have duplicates and stuff, so we can play around with this. But what we need to do is actually make sure that we can that we can list out the we need to make sure that we can list out everything that's in that directory. Sorry. Okay. So, I mean, first of all, let's think about why. I mean, why do we want to do that? So, my alias has gone. So I'm using NeoVim, and I did have an alias for just Vi to go there, but it's disappeared for some reason. I'll look at that later. Okay, so we take the source of the directory as the argument, and then what we want to do is we want to list out all of the files. Well, actually, we want to iterate through all of the files in that directory. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do is if we give it the directory, it should go through, iterate through the files, and then that's when we'll be able to grab it for our hashing algorithm, store it in the DB, and then we'll have an index of everything that's in that directory, like all the image files that are there. So I think we need to go to the docs to find the package that we're going to use to do this. Now, I think it's in the OS package, because I think OS package OS provides a platform independent interface to operating system functionality. So I think that's what we want. We want to be able to iterate through all of the files in a directory. Now, I kind of know already. So, okay, os.open will open a file. This is important to remember for later, because we are going to have to open all these files to be able to read them and hash them. But for now, I think what we're looking for is read directory. Is that it? I think it might be. Read read directory reads the contents of the directory associated with the file F. No, this is not it. We don't have a file yet. We don't have a file. We want to do it based on a based on the directory. Read directory. Yeah, this is it. This is what we want. Function read directory. Okay, so read directory reads the name directory, returning all its directory entries sorted by file name. If an error occurs reading the directory, readdir returns the entries it was able to read before the error along with the error. That's nice. So if it dies midway, we still get some there. So, okay. So let's update our code to include this. Now, as far as the imports go, it looks like there's an additional import here. They're also formatting it differently here. So here we've got import in the parentheses. Let's do that just to make it a bit nicer and tidier. So, oops, okay. So let's open the parentheses there. So we've got format and OS, and they're also using log for logging out errors, I'm assuming. Yeah, log fatal. So let's do that because that's going to be nice. We're going to use that again for other stuff too. So we'll bring in log as well. Now, what we want to do is files error os read dir, and then here they're using the current directory, but we have our own source directory, so we'll use that. So, okay, let me type this out, and then let's go through what it actually means. So, files error colon equals os read dir, and then source dir. Okay. So, this function here, read directory, if it's successful, or even if it's not completely successful, it'll return files. So these are the, oh, here we go, the directory entry. So this type here is being returned. So where was that? Where'd it go? Dir entry type directory entry. Okay, so a directory entry is an entry read from a directory using the read directory function. Okay, that's I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Can we get more? Okay. Oh, here's the source code of it. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, essentially this here will be the list of all the directory entries that it picks up. So they are the like files, but this is slightly different to a file. And then we also return this error here. So this is a very Go thing. This is the way it's done in Go. So you run this function here, and then there are two things that are returned. The files and an error. So if there's a problem with this here, then we'll get something returned in this error variable. So that's why we have this next line here, which let me type this out and then we can continue talking about it. So if error is not equal to nil, then we do something. So this is how we handle if there's an error returned. So in this case, we're just going to log it out. So log fatal error. let me close that off. So this is a very, very Go way of handling errors. So this function, so assuming everything goes well, we're going to get these files here. So that's an array that we can iterate through. So here we can see it's an array of directory entries. And in the example, they've given a for loop. So for each file in these files here, then just print out the file name. So yeah, we're calling it file. It's not exactly a file, it's a directory entry, but yeah, let's run this and we'll be able to see how it works. So for file in range files, formats, print line, and then the file name. So this name here is a property of this directory entry. Okay, so this last line here, we can get rid of that. We don't need it. Although, I mean, let's log it out here because that'd be log. There must be a log info or something. Source dir. Okay, I'm assuming there's a log info. There might not be. If there's not, then we'll find that out pretty quick. Okay, so let's build this. So go build it. Undefined log info. Okay, maybe there is not. Okay, where are we? Go log. The log package. Okay. So we have fatal, panic prefix. Okay, printf, print ln. Okay, yeah. So let's just do that. I really need to fix up this alias. Okay, so okay, there's no log info, but there is a print. Is there a print line? I think there was. Yeah, print line. Okay. And yes. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's try build that again. Go build. Here's our exe file. So image sorter exe. And okay, so here is the directory that we want it to iterate through. And it looks like it worked. So we've got, this is the log line first of all. So here we can see the source directory that it's using. And then these are the two files in there. So if we, sorry, the two directories in there. So if we list out that directory, we can see that it's found both of them. So there's that one there, and there's the unsorted one. Cool. Okay, so that's step one. I think really though, this is not what we want. We want it to be recursive. We want it to go into each of these directories and continue to list out the files in there. So we might need to work out how do we do this recursively. Now, the question is there a nice way of doing it, or do we need to just keep on putting more iterations in here? Yeah. Okay. I think also given that we're looking at this from the very basics, we should probably look at how this for statement works as well. Go for loop. Because it's not a good idea to just copy code and run it. You should probably understand the things that you're writing. So let's take a look here. So we've got this for loop. Now, so Go has only one looping construct, the for loop. The basic for loop has three components separated by semicolon. The init statement executed before the first iteration, the condition expression evaluated before every iteration, the post statement executed at the end of every iteration. So where's the example here? So the init statement executed before the first iteration. So in this case, we're setting I to 0. The condition expression evaluated before every iteration. So if I is less than 10. And the post statement executed at the end of every iteration. So here I++. So we we increment I at the end of every loop. So what are we doing here? This is slightly different. Notice how we have this underscore here. So we're kind of not doing this. We're not setting an initial statement. So that part is missing. And here we're setting file to range files. So does it go into detail about this setup here? Because this one slightly different to this. This one's pretty straightforward, right? You've got a variable that we initialize as 0. A variable, again, we initialize it as 0, and then we keep on incrementing it, and we add up this one plus the next I value. Then when we get to 10, we stop. Okay, so pretty straightforward. This is a very, very basic, very basic for loop. Here, this is a little bit strange, right? We've got range files. Now, files we know comes from here, so we read the directory, and these are all the files and directories, as we've found, that exist in this source directory that we've given it. Okay, so I mean, we know what it's doing. It's not rocket science, right? We know that, okay, we're iterating through all of these files here. So all of the files that we find in this source directory, we're iterating through them. We're temporarily assigning that to the file variable here, and then we're printing out the name of that as part of the for loop. So I mean, it's not rocket science. Do we need an example to go into more detail? Maybe. I mean, okay. So the range part is the difference, right? So let's see. Is there an example with range here? No, 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 no. Okay, there's a lot more detail in there that's probably worth going through. There's some good information in there, but okay, go range. Okay, the range form of the for loop iterates over a slice or map. So A slice essentially is what I was calling an array. So if we go back here to the definition of the read directory function, I said, okay, this is returning an array of directory entries. In Go, it's a slice. So a little bit different terminology there. There is a difference between a slice and an array. Maybe we'll look at that another day. But for now, this is all we need to know, right? So the range form of the for loop iterates over a slice or a map. When ranging over a slice, two values are returned for each iteration. The first is the index, and the second is a copy of the element at that index. So yeah, here. Okay, so yeah, so here this works a bit differently. So we're returning. Okay, so um, when we're looping over this, so we're ranging over the slice, two values are returned. So in this previous example here, using the read directory function, there are two variables that are returned, the files and the error. The same thing actually happens here when we do range files. What we do for each iteration, we actually get the index here and the file. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The thing is, we don't need that. We don't need that at all. So when something is not used in Go, you just give it the underscore. Now we can use it. So if let's just give it I here, and let's just print that out too. So format print line I. So we can see now I'm assuming we'll see that start at 0 and go to 1. There's only two entries in there. So build good, and then let's run it. Image sorter.exe and see users recording dev image sorter and then photos. Okay, yeah, so here we're getting the index returned 0. There's that one there, 1, that one there. The thing is, we don't really need that index. It's not important to us, so we can just get rid of that. So we can just use an underscore there, get rid of that line there, and all we really care about is the name of the file. Cool. All right, so that's how that for loop works. So this is specifically a for loop with range. So the range form of a for loop. So the next step is going to be to actually make use of these files here. So it's kind of useless if we are only getting. This is still going to have the indexes because I haven't built it again. Let me just quickly build it. And yeah, so this is kind of useless. We need to recursively go through these directories.